Students who are using AI tools right now are studying in a fundamentally different way than the students who aren't, and the gap in outcomes is becoming very visible. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about having a personal tutor available at any hour, being able to instantly understand any concept, getting feedback on your writing before you turn it in, and building knowledge retention systems that actually work. These tools exist right now, and most students have no idea how to use them strategically. Today we fix that. Education has historically been a system with structural inequalities built in. The wealthy students got private tutors. The rest got a classroom with one teacher and 25 other students. AI is changing that equation in a real way. Every student now has access to a patient, knowledgeable, always available assistant that can explain any concept, help you write better, quiz you on anything, and research topics at a depth that wasn't possible before. The students who understand this and use it well are going to have a significant advantage. The students who either ignore it or misuse it, using it to do their thinking for them rather than to enhance their thinking, are going to miss out. The key distinction: use AI to learn faster and better, not to skip learning. Let me show you how. Claude is currently the best AI for serious studying and learning, and I want to explain why specifically. It's exceptional at explaining complex topics clearly. It's honest about what it doesn't know. It doesn't hallucinate as much as some competitors on technical topics, and it has an enormous knowledge base across virtually every academic subject. Here's the key use: Socratic learning. Instead of asking Claude for answers, use it as a dialogue partner. Ask it to quiz you on a topic. Ask it to explain something from a different angle when you don't understand it. Ask it to steelman an opposing argument to challenge your understanding. Ask it to identify the gaps in your reasoning. This is how you actually learn rather than just get information. A personal tutor doesn't give you the answer. They ask you questions that help you find the answer yourself. Use Claude that way. Also, reading comprehension. Paste in a difficult text, an academic article, a dense chapter, a complex passage, and ask Claude to explain the main argument, identify the key evidence, and explain any terms you don't understand. For students struggling with dense academic writing, this is a game changer. For essay planning, give Claude your essay prompt and your rough ideas, and ask it to help you build a structure. Not to write the essay, to help you think through the structure. The writing should still come from you. The architecture can be collaborative. Anki is arguably the most evidence-based study tool in existence. It uses spaced repetition, a learning technique proven by decades of cognitive science research to improve long-term memory retention dramatically compared to traditional studying. The problem historically was that creating Anki cards was tedious. You'd spend as much time making the cards as actually studying. AI solves that problem completely. You paste a block of text, your lecture notes, a textbook passage, a research summary, and ask Claude or ChatGPT to generate Anki format flashcards from it. You get 50 well-crafted flashcards in 30 seconds instead of spending an hour making them manually. There's also an official Anki plugin that integrates AI generation directly into the app. You feed it study material, and it generates cards automatically. For language learning in particular, Anki plus AI is extraordinarily powerful. You can generate vocabulary cards, grammar examples, and reading comprehension cards for any language at any level in minutes. If you're in any class that requires memorization, medicine, law, history, languages, science, get on Anki immediately and use AI to build your decks. Noteboo. KLM is one of the most impressive study tools to emerge in recent years. The concept: you upload your source documents, PDFs, notes, articles, textbooks, and the AI becomes an expert in those specific documents. It won't pull in outside information and confuse you with unrelated content. It only works from what you give it. You can ask it questions about your sources, ask it to summarize key sections, ask it to explain how different sources relate to each other, and ask it to generate a study guide or FAQ from your notes. It cites the specific part of your sources for every answer. For research papers and essays, this is invaluable. You upload 10 research articles, and instead of reading all 10 from start to finish, you can ask Notebook LM to identify the common themes, the key disagreements between authors, and the main evidence for your thesis. You can then read the specific sections it points you to. NotebookLM also has an audio overview feature that turns your source documents into a podcast-style conversation between two AI voices discussing your material. It sounds bizarre, but it's genuinely useful. Hearing your study material discussed conversationally activates different learning pathways than reading. Writing is a core skill that every student needs, and feedback is how you improve. The problem: professors rarely have time to give detailed feedback on multiple drafts. Your AI tools do. Grammarly goes well beyond grammar checking now. It analyzes clarity, conciseness, tone, and argumentation structure. It identifies where your sentences are unclear, where your paragraphs lose focus, and where your argument could be strengthened. The premium version is worth it for any student who writes a lot. WordTune is a rewriting assistant that shows you multiple ways to phrase the same idea. When you know what you mean but can't find the right words, WordTune gives you options. It's excellent for developing range and precision in your writing. The right way to use these tools: write your draft first, then use them to identify weaknesses and improve. Don't write with the AI correcting every word as you go. That interferes with developing your own voice. Write freely, then use the tools to revise. You'll improve much faster that way. For students who need to do serious academic research, these two tools are essential. Elicit is an AI research assistant that searches academic literature. You ask a research question, and it finds the most relevant peer-reviewed papers, summarizes their methodology and findings, and identifies patterns across multiple studies. It compresses days of literature review into hours. ResearchRabbit takes a different approach. You give it one foundational paper, and it maps out the entire network of related research. Papers that cite it, papers it cites, and other highly related work by the same authors or in the same area. It's like a visual map of the academic conversation around your topic. For thesis writing, research papers, and any serious academic work, these tools are genuinely transformative. The students who use them are working with a much more complete picture of the research landscape than the ones who are just doing Google Scholar searches. Paying attention in class while simultaneously taking good notes is genuinely hard. You end up doing neither well. Otter.ai records your lectures and automatically transcribes them. You can focus completely on listening and engaging during class and review the complete transcript later. It generates timestamps so you can jump to specific moments. It identifies speakers. It creates a summary of the main points. After a 2-hour lecture, you have a complete transcript plus a summary of the key points, and you spent the lecture actually paying attention instead of frantically writing. For students who learn better auditorily, being able to review the actual words said in lecture rather than your rushed notes is a significant quality improvement. You can also ask AI tools to generate study questions from the transcript. Khan Academy's AI tutor Khanmigo is built specifically for students and takes a genuinely pedagogical approach. It guides you toward understanding rather than just giving you answers. If you're stuck on a math problem, it won't solve it for you. It will ask questions that lead you to the insight yourself. This is the most educationally sound AI tool for students because it's built around the actual goal: learning, not just getting answers. It covers math through calculus, science, history, grammar, and more. Photomath and Mathway deserve a mention for math-specific help. You take a photo of a math problem and get a step-by-step solution with explanation. The step-by-step part is what matters. Don't just copy the answer. Understand each step. That's what prepares you for the test. Wolfram Alpha is the gold standard for technical and scientific computation: physics, chemistry, advanced math, statistics. If you're in STEM, bookmark it. I want to address this directly because it matters. There's a big difference between using AI to enhance your learning and using AI to bypass it. Using AI to generate flashcards, explain concepts, give feedback on your writing, and help you research. These all support your actual learning and are the right way to use these tools. Submitting AI-generated work as your own, having AI complete assignments for you, using AI to take exams, these are academic dishonesty and will hurt your development even if you never get caught. The purpose of education isn't to get a grade. It's to build capabilities you'll have for the rest of your life. Cheating with AI cheats you most of all. Use these tools to become smarter and more capable. That's where the real value is. Here's a simple study stack recommendation based on your situation. For K-12 students, Khan Academy's Khanmigo for guided tutoring, Anki for memorization, Grammarly for writing. For college students, Claude as your primary thinking partner, NotebookLM for research, Anki for memorization, Elicit for research papers, Otter.ai for lectures. For grad students and professionals, all of the above, plus Research Rabbit for literature mapping, and NotebookLM as your personal research database. Start with the tool that addresses your biggest current challenge and build from there. The best students of this generation aren't studying harder than everyone else. They're studying smarter, with better tools, applied in better ways. AI has made genuinely excellent study support available to everyone. The only question is whether you'll use it. Subscribe to Node Pulse for more breakdowns of how AI tools are changing how we work, learn, and grow. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.